we will continue with the discourse. Today's going to be a continuation of freedom is the power to transmute. And this, last week we talked about the alchemy of the red and blue and to create this violet transmutation. And one of the challenges that we face as a humanity is really accepting that we're co-creators with God, in this divine spirit. And we're given free will choice, which is a huge gift and a responsibility to exercise. So how does this play out with freedom, our own personal freedom, our spiritual freedom, and the power to transmute different levels of consciousness? So today and last week we also talked about doing a self-inventory to see where we're at. So today we're going to start at the root, getting to the root of the problem. Our outer world is a reflection of what is within us. And even this is hard for people to accept. This goes along with we are co-creators. We have been given this free will choice, this ability to choose, to make choices, to move. We have the opportunity to look at our current situation and face it. If there's this level of discomfort or struggle or this kind of maybe something happening in our life that sort of is eating away at us, or it's always kind of there, this unease. Well, this can catch up with us if we don't deal with it. And it manifests in the form of dis-ease. It will have a physical manifestation within us because it is within us. And we are able to see it as a communication from spirit. This dis-ease or this uneasiness, whatever it is talking to us and telling us and giving us clues and showing us the way for healing so that we can have this freedom to move. So there's two teachers that have taught a lot. Many people are familiar with Louise Hayes. She has several books, but You Can Heal Your Life. And she talks, and then there's other teachings about the physical body and what they represent. And looking at that. So this is not just healing the physical body, though. This is healing on many different levels. Emotional, mental, psychic, spiritual. But for some that can start to get overwhelming and it loses the focus. So what we're looking at today is the root of the problem, the red ray, the root of the healing. So Louise Hay teaches she kind of talks about the physical body, but this also extends to perhaps what we see outside of us, our enemies. It could be a person, a situation. It could be this feeling within ourselves related to a person, a situation, whatever that external thing may be, relationship. So what can we do? So we can slow down, take some time to reflect. And the reflection can be kind of easy because you can look at what's happening around you, and it's pretty easy to pretty quickly identify what's bugging you or irritating you or causing that unease, dis-ease. Once you identify that, you can start asking yourself, if it has nothing to do with that outside being or situation, and if it has everything to do with my internal processes and who I am in God, who I am as in spirit, and in this energy, we can address the issue. And I know a lot of like nonviolent communication teaches to use I statements. So it's going back to these kind of taking responsibility for our choices and for how we are interacting with our environment, external and internal environments. So as we start to recognize this issue, we can start to get to a one-pointed realization of what it is that we are manifesting, what belief we're manifesting. One that is prevalent is a lack of support. And that's coming from this root chakra, finances, struggling with finances, or these different security issues in the base, in the root chakra, are indicators of these deeper feelings and beliefs that we have about the world and about ourselves. We were shown how to overcome the red ray, and how we can do this is through love. And it's not overcoming the red ray, it's to love. First, as we reflect on these situations, is to accept where we are in consciousness and in our reality, and not to beat ourselves up. So just taking some time to, and for those of us who have been doing this kind of work for years and years and years, sometimes we take for granted the process of healing. And we think, we can just like say these words and do this affirmation and boom, 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 it's done. And sometimes this is true when after we've really been practicing a lot, but it needs to hit these deeper levels, these cellular DNA, energetic, this etheric body. And so that we can truly believe the affirmations or clear away this root cause that keeps coming up and batting its eyes at us. Because it really just needs love. It's the love. So looking at the struggles that we're having, whatever it is, just totally accept it as it is in this moment. And there's many tools here that can be used. Many that people are familiar with. And one of the ones that we teach is the Spirit of the Lotus, or not teach, but that we use is the Ho'oponopono. It's on the self. And it's forgiveness and gratitude and love. It's accepting where we're at. And then really applying the love. One of the things that we talked about last week too is the support from God, from the angelic beings, from the holy beings of light. We do not need to be afraid. We are so supported, and we're interdimensional beings. We are supported not only by these holy beings, angels, masters, we're also working with ourselves interdimensionally through healing. Ourselves as interdimensional beings, our past self, our ancestors, everything that came before us, as well as our future self, our children, the influences, the legacies that we leave. This is all supporting us for this healing. We are not alone in that. Once we realize when we can get down to the bottom of it, down to the root, that one feeling that we might have that maybe it's a lack of feeling deserving. And it could be deserving. Perhaps you have all the money in the world and all like a beautiful relationship. In this area, it's abundant, but there's still unhappiness. Maybe you have the happiness and the relationship, but then the financial is not there to support, or any mix, and it could be any area within a different being, a different person, that we can pinpoint down to what is causing this drama or conflict in my life that's bothering me or eating away at me, which we're we're using this it clears. We have to clear that type of energy and shift it and recognize it. Like the elephant in the room. It's there. We know it's there. We can say hello and love it. Give it the love that it needs and heal it. So once we've identified these areas and today we're specifically talking about the root, although this freedom to transmute does need the whole body, the whole system, the whole energetic system. But getting down to these root areas helps clear the rest. We can try to use the mind to stop the lack. We can try to use the emotions to stop the discomfort. We can try to use the psychic powers to, banish this dis-ease. But this is, it keeps coming back because we're not clearing away the root source of the problem. And yes, these areas are powerful, but it's not enough to force one area to deal with the core issue. Start with the basic, most dense, and pull the weeds here, or the weed, the one weed, and recognize it. People who go through these really intense struggles, say they've been abused or different things happening, they are able, many are able to transmute this energy into something that helps them flourish in freedom. But it's getting down to that root problem, that major cause, and healing it. And how can we also help this area? First is through the great love. And it's not just our love. The love is not just generated here. We are loved. In this invisible, though we may not feel it in the physical world, and we may, and we know, but it's so much more than that. It's this whole realm that we're just starting as a humanity to interact with, sense, and work with. Relaxing, let the love come in and generate within to heal these core issues that block us from having true freedom, ability to move. Call in Archangel Michael to assist in this area. And this is a blue ray. Don't judge it. Have no judgment. Love does not judge. It's not judging. Call in Archangel Michael to clear away, cut with the sword of truth, helping us to realize who we really are. The power of love, the power of God and spirituality, our spirit, the power of peace. It's a very exciting time to be doing all this, and don't, the message is simple. Just keep it simple. Keep it simple and focus on that one area and allow it to spiral up. Easy does it, little by little. And this love and truth create this violet ray of transmutation. That we experience freedom. That we realize our freedom. That we are self-realized beings manifesting God's holy plan with love in our hearts, love throughout. Please prepare for deep level meditation.